And thanks for you coming up here. I think we have a very, very huge crowd here, a little bit surprised. So I think the topic that we are discussing this afternoon is really not only at your heart, Stefan. Yeah, let me introduce a little bit what is deepblue standing for and who we are, so that you get a little bit of an understanding. We are actually an agency located in Hamburg, in the eastern part of Hamburg. We have been founded 2001, so now in the 11th year. We have around 150 people working in this in the agency, and has been growing very, very fast in the last years. Especially the digital area has been growing quite fast. So this brought us also into a lot of discussions in terms of structures, margins, and all that. And what I would like to show you in the next 10 minutes is how we are now in the process to apply our structures and our ideas on how to go with it. Yeah, just some ideas of where we belong to. This, I think, is also quite interesting when we later on do the panel discussion, because I'm coming more or less from the, let's say, broader company point of view. So belonging to the WPP and Comarco and being, let's say, the small sister of Scholz & Friends. Of course, there is also economic pressure behind, margins, kind of controlling figures we have to deliver. So that gives us also a specific challenge to really come up with technology, new features, and new digital development, and with a speed on that. What do we offer? You would call us normally a one-stop shop. That's what we offer to our clients. So it's not just a digital agency. We have been founded with the idea to provide all communication channels under one roof that are relevant for a client, which is nowadays no really a new news. But in 2000, 2001, I think also involving digital has been already a very, very good first step for the German market. And this has been developed further. In the meantime, the digital part has been, as I said already, grown very fast. But still, we have a lot of clients where we do classical communication like TV, print, and also website. So the idea is always to create a brand experience around the different channels. The last one, just give you an idea of clients where we work for. Gerolsteiner, Swatch, where we are mainly digital. Gerolsteiner, for example, brand where we do all communication channels. So it's, I think, a broad client wall you see here. So now let me talk about our challenges that we faced in the last years, and obviously I think then you will agree that it's not our challenges, but also yours. The first one, I mentioned that already, is the pressure on the margins. Probably the same experience that you have. We are not always talking to marketing decision makers any longer. More and more we are talking to procurement managers who are getting paid by decreasing the prices, how they sell, how they buy the creative Leistung, so the creativity. So it means sometimes you have the feeling they buy pencils the same way they buy the creativity, and we're talking about prices per man, day, and hour. So that makes it quite hard to really come up with quality discussions on that. The next one is we're getting more and more new specialists in the market. So all the mobile world, the performance media world, the affiliate marketing world, even marketing decision makers are not really up to date what is new on the market. And we as a large agency has to be also kind of informed. Is it, let's say, a trend hype that we are looking for? Is it something that we should invest in on our side? At least we should know what's about and find the right answer for our clients. And the third one is the rising digital complexity overall. It's not like that easy any longer to create a website. The complexity is getting higher and higher, even in front end and back end. There are so many new things you have to think about in the beginning that, let's say, the client on the other side doesn't not always understand why you cannot change something at the end of a process. So what we said, especially in the last year, we needed to change a little bit the way how to make our business. So we looked at our DNA, and I thought this is a good picture how we looked at it and what are our 3 strings, if you like, where we looked at. So first of all, it's a business model, where we are now trying to add an extra to it. We are still an agency providing services, but not only that. Then I think there's a clear belief in brands. That's the second one. And of course, we're talking structures and peoples later on as well. So this is also a very strong string in our DNA. Let's come to the first thesis. We think it's more important to become a creative entrepreneur instead of just creating services. What does that mean? Being entrepreneur means to be, let's say, broader in what you gain for a client or for yourself. The idea behind this, I think, is quite clear. You see here an example where creativity becomes more and more commodity, means you can get a logo for 200 euros. Just ask them, and people are doing wherever in the world for you a logo for 200 euros. So again, we are here in a discussion of margin pressure. And we think if you look on this scale where you could come from, and from product development up to sales, normally you would find yourself in this area. We talk about brands, probably we develop brands, we talk about communication, but we think it's more interesting, and also it gives you the opportunity to come to an eye-level discussion with your clients when you look also to how to develop products, develop services from the beginning, and also think about the sales process. I think we at deepblue have also, in terms of the people who are working, a lot of former marketing guys like I am, and also one of the founder. So there is also experiences in deepblue to think about developing new products, finding products that are interesting, that other, let's say, companies are producing, but come in and be an entrepreneur, be a partner to invest in creating the brand around it, invest to create the communication around it, and then also earn money by successful sales at the end. So I have shown you just one small example that has been in the press, I think 2 weeks ago. This is, for example, a training device for personal trainers and for fitness people. So that is something that we believed in is a very interesting tool, very interesting, and seems to be very successful in terms of exercisement. So we thought, we invest there. We created the whole brand, we created the campaign, we created the website for it, up to the fair. So this is something that we, let's say, invested in here, and now we are getting already very, very good feedback from the market. And so this is one of the projects. Others will come over the year, and now we are learning more and more to be more the entrepreneur of those things and bring in the marketing expertise. But you see already, it's not just being the agency for that, but also being in charge to get this product, for example, on a market. Thesis number 2, we're talking about brands. We still believe that brands is still a very important anchor in the complex digital world. It's for every, let's say, classical brand, if it's food brand, but also for the lot of brands you know from Amazon and eBay and so on and so forth. I don't have to explain to you this. But for us, it's a big challenge that we see when we discuss with our marketing decision makers, that nowadays the consumer decides if, when, what and where to receive the information about brands. And this, of course, is a big challenge for the brand managers. I don't have to explain to you the whole social media world. I think you are aware of that. And for us, I think it's a good point to be kind of a guide for those guys, and say, okay, we can guide you. We understand what the challenges are here, and we guide brands into the future of this communication, and decide together with the brand managers what kind of digital communication is relevant for you. Another short example, this is, for example, a very nice project for our Swiss client Migros. In Switzerland, they are doing very interesting child promotions. This one is Animanca. It's kind of a world where kids can explore things on this, in this kind of room. So we create a whole world around it. Children can play different games. And then, of course, we looked at what kind of mobile devices might be relevant and what kind of games we can offer here. And this has been awarded with the FWA. So this is one idea of how to create a brand like Animanka for Migros in this digital world for client target group. And the other one is we create brands for digital platforms. So often we have clients that want to develop an e-shop, for example, but they're looking not only for an agency that has the skills to do this kind of platforms, but also understand how the brand should be developed in the front-end design, how that should feel when you go to the whole process of the e-shop. And here, one example, it's the brand Auktionata. This is an Austrian client where we develop the website, but also the whole brand experience by itself. Auktionata is a real bidding platform for, let's say, old stuff that you find in your house and want to sell over the internet. So it's the real bidding platform, also with videos, which is technology point of view very, very challenging. And then the last one is the liquid structure, which I think is the biggest challenge for our organization, as we are with 150 people. So generate liquid structures for the digital natives, something that we will probably discuss in a minute as well. We no longer believe in this waterfall process. I don't know if you are aware of this. So you start with a rough concept, clients agree, then you go into the fine concept, do wireframes, then you start with design, and at the end, someone in the IT department has to develop it and ask themselves, oh my God, this is not what I have seen 6 weeks before, so now it's just some changes in it. It will get more and more complex. So we believe that this time is over. We need to get the creative people much earlier in the process. We now have this kind of roundtable approach where functional designers, concept people, art directors, front-end designers, and front-end developers are sitting together. Of course, not for every project this is applicable, but we try to create this kind of team rooms very often, and we see that is a big success in communication and to get the process much more efficient in developing bigger projects. So just an idea of how we are structured overall. We have 4 client teams, which is not I think a big change or a big difference to other agencies. We call them after Earth, Mars, Saturn, whatever. I don't know what the background behind is. So these client teams in there, they're sitting the account managers, they're sitting the creative people. So working for these specific clients, you would say around 3 or 4 bigger clients are in one of those teams. And for the whole teams, there is a service structure below. So the digital operation team works like a service for those creative teams. And in there, we developed, or we structured as like a specific technical project management team that transfers, if you like, the creative thinking, the creative ideas into a technical concept, so that this execution is be done very efficiently, and they are very much involved in the beginning of the process. Besides that, we have a team that works with mobile, with motion, with all the new stuff that again can be applicable for different client teams, and I think that also makes us very flexible, and we can provide this service to all clients in our house. So the challenge overall, I think this is something that the other guys will agree as well, is to combine the creative chaos on the one side that makes also the fun to work on agency side, and then having ICT structures that wants to have it more or less rigid and clear structured so that they can work efficiently on that. So this is a big challenge, and we do a lot of interviews with all the guys and see how they work together. So these are some pictures out of this. So we find out that there is no one solution for it. You have to always find for each project again what can be the best project team setup be, and then just put them together. So this liquid structures, I think, is something that also is a big mind change in agencies for people. I think 20-somethings are more open to that. 30-somethings are getting more, let's say, rigid and say, okay, moving around every, I don't know, 2 months, again, new place. That's really tiring over the time. But I think this is the disadvantage on that. Yeah, so this is our answer to this post-digital DNA, if you like. Change business model towards being more entrepreneur, being more on the same eye level to your client. Believe in brands, understand brands, and really support brands in this digital communication future, and create these liquid structures in your organization, because what is true today is not true tomorrow. You never know what comes up next. So do we have the right answer? I'm pretty sure not. I don't know. But to be honest, this is something that we believe in on deepblue. We have a lot of fun finding it out and working for our clients. So I think, at least on that stage, we are on the right track. So thank you very much for your listening until here. I'm happy to answer questions later and take part in the panel.